Okay, welcome back to the channel. It's time for the top 10 sports cars in GTA Online. And now, PC players, you now have all the HSW vehicles. But as always, I will only say the top 3 spots for HSW vehicles because they're already the fastest vehicles anyway, so of course they're going to be in the top 3. But all the other ones will be normal, upgraded sports cars, non-HSW versions. I'm going from number 10 to number 1, so let's start off with number 10, the Lampadati Corsita. This has a top speed of 121.25 miles per hour, 12th out of 112 in the sports car category, so not that bad actually. And a lap time of 1 minute, 1 second, 8:12, which is 21st out of 112. So this is a solid 10th place on this list. Some of the lap times are milliseconds off of each other, so really you're not looking at that much. Except for top speed, so some of the top speed on this list is pretty different. But driving the Corsita, it's not the easiest to drive. It does get impacted by the bumps, and not in the good way. With some vehicles in this game, with a lot of vehicles in this game, I would say most, the bumps actually do help in top speed. But with this car, it just doesn't seem to help with it that much, especially with the traction. It has very little traction and grip on the city streets, which makes it just lose a lot of time from when it gets in the air on these bumps. But also the acceleration isn't that good either. It does struggle to get up to top speed, but once it gets to top speed, it's pretty decent. And of course, except for bumps, it does have pretty good turning, or good turning radius, but again, the bumps just impacts it so much that it defeats all of it. It takes away from the actual speed and cornering that this car has. It just takes it all away. And that's why this car is at number 10. It has a base cost of $1,795,000. Now going on to number 9. And by the way, guys, just look at the reflections on PC Enhanced. This is what I'm going to be recording on from now on. Even though my Xbox level is, what, 800? This graphics are just insane, even compared to console. Now just some info before we actually get into it, in case you're wondering how I'm doing this. So I'm taking the top speed and lap time, which is tested by Bruffer1322, publicly available on his website and his team, GTAcars.net. Amazing website, goes into detail on every car, even down to the acceleration and handling. I'm taking the lap time from that, and top speed and city testing from me. That is how I'm ranking these. So around a racing track only, it might be a little bit different. In the city streets in free mode, this list is what I came up with. Now going on to number 9, which has a slower top speed than the Corsita, but a better lap time. Top speed is 127.5 miles per hour, lap time 1 minute 0.443, which is 8th out of 112 in the category, with the base cost of $2,010,000. Driving the Paragon S, it's a pretty solid drive. The turning, it does like to understeer a lot. It doesn't have the best turning radius, so pretty much the opposite of the Corsita actually. Even though they're pretty close, it's kind of the complete opposite. You know, it's steady on the bumps, doesn't get impacted too much. The turning, not the best, kind of slow. Also acceleration out of the slow turns. On top of that, it just adds up so much in terms of loss with this vehicle, and that's the biggest downsides, of course, in lap time. But I mean, for free mode, if we're just talking straight free mode, not performance at all, this might be in the top 5 for me. Just because it's armored, it has the top speed, the looks, also the reflections. For some reason, the reflections are crazy on this car again. But the Paragon S, for some people, I think it might be worth it. For some. Now at number 8, and I think a lot of you are going to be surprised that this is on the list. It is the Italy RSX. And it kind of meets in the middle of the last 2 cars, and that's why it beats them by just 1 ahead, number 7. It has a lap time of 1 minute 0.844, 14th out of 112, and a top speed of 134.5 miles per hour, which is 10th in the category. And a cost $3.4 million. That's very expensive. Going on to driving the Italy RSX. Again, it kind of meets in the middle of the last 2 cars we see. The acceleration, kinda decent. It's overall just a decent vehicle. That's the best as I could explain it. The top speed, you do get up to the top speed fast, and then it just starts to even out, and you could definitely hear it. You could definitely hear engine start to like just go ideal, just waiting for more power to go, but it doesn't get any more power. And that's where the biggest downside of this vehicle is that even though it does have very good top speed, it just feels like it have more power to it, you know. So biggest upsides, I would say, definitely acceleration, top speed. Downsides, bumpy on the bumps, of course, and traction. At number 7, the Ubermacht Noble. And this might even be an underrated vehicle. Top speed 127.25 miles per hour, 18th out of 112. That is the slowest we've seen so far, but it has a lap time of 59 seconds, 0.726. And that does add up a lot. That is 7th out of 112. And the base cost $1.88 million. Now driving the Niobe, this vehicle, the acceleration is insane, the traction is insane. That is the biggest upsides. The biggest downside, top speed, of course. The top speed just hurts it so much. If it had the top speed, like let's say the Pariah or even the Stinger TT, this would be an amazing vehicle. Probably at number 1. But other than that, this car, amazing on the corners. It goes wherever you want to go. On the bumps, it doesn't really impact it at all. Great traction too. And this car really does have it all. You just hear the car begging to go faster when you get to that last gear. It's painful, but this car is just so much fun to drive, especially in the city. Again, this list is not only for lap times around track, it's for, as a whole, GTA Online. And this car in the city, amazing. And it does have an HSW upgrade to it. But if you for some reason do not want the HSW variation of it, it's still a very great buy. And customization is just amazing too. Customization, the wing, especially the roof, the bumpers, all look just made for this vehicle. At number 6, Ocelot Pariah. And this car is kind of an OG at this point. It released in 2017 and it was the fastest sports car vehicle for at least until 2020, okay? The top speed still definitely shows 136 miles per hour, and that is 9th out of 112 in the sports car category. So the lap time, 11th out of 112 with the 1 minute 0.644 lap time. Also, the traction with it, still the biggest thing holding it back. And honestly, I could probably put this higher and get away with it, but that just goes to show how good the other vehicles actually are compared to this one, even with that top speed. Base cost, one of the cheaper ones on this list, $1,420,000. Rockstar, we see what we do, Rockstar. So driving the Ocelot Pariah, it is very easy. Again, the traction, it can have better traction, okay? It does get scrolly here and there, and pairing that with the top speed, which is what makes this vehicle what it is, that is why the Pariah is so good. Giving it the curb boosts, all of that stuff. With all the new cars, you probably wouldn't think this one is still up here, but it is. It's 100% still up here until GTA 6 comes out. It's so good, it doesn't even need a HSW upgrade. Another crazy one that has just been at the top since its release, the Italy GTO, released in 2018. Coming in with a lap time of 59.359 seconds, 5th out of 112. That is the best out of every non-HSW sports vehicle. Just behind the Niobe, actually. And a top speed of 128 miles per hour, 15th out of 112. Now, when this vehicle was released, it was actually at the peak of the advanced handling flags, which just makes vehicles really terrible on the bumps. This car is very bumpy on city streets. And that is definitely where the hardest part is when it comes to driving this car, is that it just likes to spin out way too much. But the bumps also severely impact the top speed of this car. The curb boosting, bump boosting, whatever you want to call it, it is amazing on this car. It boosts the top speed, which if you guys don't know what this is, I would just look it up. Roughly 132 explains it. Good curb boosting. It gives your car a little boost in the city, and every car has it. But also the traction and turning radius, that just makes this vehicle have that insane lap time, is that it really just goes wherever you want it to go. You don't have to brake too hard to turn. Of course, again, you do have to be careful that the bumps don't hit you in a weird angle or that you randomly spin out, which does happen even to me. And I've been using this car since its release. But if it wasn't for the bump curb boosting in this game, this car wouldn't have that lap time. So definitely the biggest hits with this vehicle is that, yeah, it has an insane lap time, very good traction when turning. It's very responsive. But the downsides come at a low cost. It has a steep learning curve, and the top speed, 15th, not the best. But I think the lap time is completely worth it with this vehicle if you are driving in the city. And that's why this is really still the #1 sports car vehicle outside of HSW. And that's what we're getting into next, the HSW vehicles. But finally, dethroning the Italy GTO best non-HSW sports car vehicle in GTO line, only released last year, before the Banshee GTS, one of the newer ones in the game also. Now it doesn't actually have a better lap time than Italy GTO. The lap time, 1 minute 0.621 seconds. But the top speed, 10 miles per hour more, 138 miles per hour. And it cost $1,989,500 GTA cash. So lap time 9th out of 112 and top speed 8th out of 112. So it's a very solid vehicle. And the top speed for the Banshee GTS, the best out of non-HSW. And it falls right behind the Italy GTO, Niobe, and Paragon S in lap time. But still very close. The Italy GTO 59 seconds and Banshee 1 minute 0.6. So not a lot at all. But going into actually driving the Banshee GTS, this is why it's above these. Not just because of the top speed, which already brings up there, but it's actually controllable. Unlike the Italy GTO. You don't rarely spin out on this. You rarely ever have any issues. It's super easy to drive. It goes wherever you point it to. Turning radius, amazing. On the bumps, you barely even feel the bumps on the Banshee GTS. That's how good this car is in the city streets. And that's what this car is made for. It's made for going around the city streets, making the most out of it as possible. Also, the top speed is there. It has top speed to back up. This car has both lap time and top speed to back it up, and that's why it's here at number 1, non-HSW. So the biggest hits with this car, the pros, the top speed, the traction, the grip, responsiveness. This car is just crazy to drive. But the cons of it, the acceleration is definitely not the best. But once it gets into the higher gears, then you really start to notice the difference. And really, if it had that better acceleration, this car would probably beat some of the HSW vehicles, if I'm being honest. But that's not even near when this car has its own HSW upgrade. So let's get on to the HSW vehicles that now both consoles and PC players have access to. There's no reason not to use these now. At number 3, the HSW Italy GTO Stinger TT. A top speed of 168.5 miles per hour second out of 112 in the whole sports car category, and a lap time of 4th out of 112 at 59.292 seconds. And the whole cost of $3.8 million. Yeah, that the Rockstar knew what they were doing here. So this car just takes away every flaw that the regular Italy GTO had. It's now a Stinger HSW upgraded vehicle. Insane top speed, insane acceleration, and grip. And honestly, it feels the complete opposite of the GTO. It feels heavier. It almost feels like a boat going around these corners. That could be an upside or that could be a downside. Depends on your driving style, to be honest. But what I will say is that it feels 100% planted. So the pros on this are especially the top speed, acceleration, grip. The cons, handling, and that's really all I could think of for the cons. There's not much on these top 3 on this list. But oh my god, this car is crazy. While recording these voiceovers, I'm just driving around the city normally. Yeah, I just took a huge jump on a random road. Yeah, this car is crazy. At number 2, now these top 2 are really hard. The ones I had to go back over and over again just to rearrange these two together. But I had to put this one at number 2 because you'll see when we get to number 1. So the HSW Niobe lap time is first out of all the other vehicles in the category, 55.389 seconds. Now where it does struggle is the top speed. Well, I say struggle, but it's an HSW vehicle still. Top speed 3rd out of 112 with the 159.5 miles per hour top speed. And a base cost $3,051,000. The Ubermache Niobe. And this vehicle is one that I do not see any cons at all to. It is all pros except for the top speed. But even the top speed, again, it's an HSW vehicle. It's going to be out every other non-HSW vehicle in the whole game. That's how insane these vehicles are if you're new on PC. It has insane acceleration. Maybe one of the best accelerating vehicles in the whole game that's not an electric vehicle. It goes really wherever you want it to go. But I said that about the last vehicle. This vehicle, it's even more. It's even more crazy. It just goes. It goes wherever you want it to go. The bumps help it a lot. Doesn't impact the maneuverability at all. I know if you're thinking about getting any HSW vehicle, this is probably it. This vehicle probably could be the one you want to buy. And that's why I was thinking about putting this in first, but you guys will see why number one is, well, at number one. But yeah, oh, this car is just insane. yeah. I think I'll be driving this more after making this video. At number one, top speed of 172.5 miles per hour. First on all supercar vehicles in the game, and a lap time of 57.574. Third in the sports car category. Base cost, 3,889,500 GTA cash. It is the Banshee GTS HSW upgraded version. So starting off the acceleration, it goes straight into accelerating, straight into the top speed of this vehicle. It maxes out pretty fast. So it definitely has it in acceleration, but also the top speed, almost 5 miles per hour more than the Niobe. And on top of the Niobe, it's like 10 miles per hour until the next one. So this car definitely at the top. And it's pretty obvious once you get your hands on it and start driving it. Also, I'm not talking about much about the customization, but the customization on all of these vehicles really is amazing. I'm very creative customization. It's a Banshee. It doesn't need many customization options to look beautiful. It is a Banshee. The brakes, it has insane braking power. Matches the HSW upgrades, which not a lot of these HSW vehicles do, as well as the traction and grip. But again, similar to Niobe, it just goes wherever you want to go. But when you do get to more turning back and forth, that's where you do kind of feel like they're going to spin out a little bit. It's still very solid and grippy, planted on the ground. So the pros, there's only pros on this vehicle. The acceleration, the top speed, the best top speed in the game. Out of any vehicle, I think even any HSW supercars, I think this is the best top speed vehicle. The appearance, the looks, the beautifulness. I was gonna say something else. Oh my lord, look at this car. The responsiveness. I mean, just driving this, sports cars are the new supercars in GTA Online. Rockstar was definitely 100% cooking when they made this vehicle, and they know it. So that only means we need to get something else faster than the next DLC. Come on, Michael DLC, give us something fast. Let's go. Final DLC before GTA 6. We gotta get some new vehicles, and that's why I'm making this series, bringing the series back from the dead. GTA car culture, never been in a better spot. And these are top 10 sports car vehicles in GTA Online that you need to buy. If you guys got this far into the video, promise you liked it, so leave a like and subscribe to see what video I make next.